Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews and Oft-Times Reminiscences. Today we're doing Morke. Now then, one of the things, the immediate thing that attracted me to this artiste when I heard it was it's as if they're an archaeologist and they've gone digging under barrows and found the remains of obsequies and put them back together, and I was going to say, when I was thinking about this earlier, that they stole the crown of obsequies, but in reality they were given it. I'm pretty sure, I know, looking at the on a rare occasion I've actually read a Bandcamp page that the fellow that was obsequies helps out on this, so the circle of life, isn't it? Anyway, where am I? Talking bollocks as usual, so let's get into the music, which is what you're here for, not me waffling shite. So, to be disingenuous for me to say that I wasn't immediately reminded of obsequies, but the listening always brings out the nuance, and there are subtle differences, some subtle differences, some fairly obvious with repeated listenings, and the pacing and the feel of this is different to the aforementioned, but it evokes similar pictures when you listen to it. I mean, I can't help but notice, staring at the page as I do when I listen to these things, true Minnesotan castle magic. I'll go with the castle magic, and it does immediately conjure up those sort of images, and there's something, it's not claustrophobic, but it's almost smothering in a way, the way this music works for me. I suppose embraces rather than smothers are probably a better term, because there's an openness to the sound, which means it's you know, it's not crowding you in at all. There's room to breathe and there's space there, so although it's almost like I do a lot of bike packing, which means I carry a camping kit with me on my push bike into the wilds, and you know, listening to this music reminds me a lot of at the end of a cycling for maybe 18 hours, getting in my sleeping bag and being warmed or feeling cosy inside my sleeping kit. That's what this sort of conjures up for me. Other than that's a feeling, it conjures up. The pictures it conjures are, as I say, in line with the artist's intention, which is nice. reminds me of a babbling brook of the music. It's at one stage, at one point I was thinking that the slower section, if I'll call it that, sounds almost lazy, but that's wrong. It's more easygoing, and that's why it brings to mind a brook or a stream. It's like the flow of the water with a few rocks and hollows giving some ripple effect to it, and then when it gets a little bit choppier, then it is almost as if that stream or brook is cascading over some minor rapids. None of it evokes anything other than the olden days and nature. There's nothing. Sometimes you can look at music and it reminds you of. You can put it into an industrial aspect, or you can put it into a battle aspect or whatever. This just stays true in its and the vision it brings about of what I said, ancient buildings and pure nature. Nature unsullied by agriculture and the rest of it. When wolves did roam and rabbits worried about it. So at no point in this, I bought the album, so but when I had a chance to listen to it, excuse me, and I had a chance to listen to it 2 or 3 times prior to now, and so I'm not 100% familiar with it, but in essence there's no punch to this, relatively speaking. You're always being hugged or stroked, and with the odd caress. It just feels as if you're taken away. If you, sometimes I think I am talking past, but if music could judge you, it's almost as if this counts you as a valued listener. Don't ask me why, but it's just a feeling you get from listening to it. You just feel that music appreciates you lending its ear. It is that, and it's actually a lovely relationship to have with with music. When so often it's combative, and that's not just in these genres, but yeah. Anyway, before I drift away into total nonsense, let's just hear it out. I think I've probably just interrupted a solo here, or beginnings of one, so forgive me if that's your thing. So there you go. That's the perfect stress relief, that is. That just takes out all of your woes and your worries and your stress, and just plucks it away from you and drops it where it will not bother you again. Yeah, I mean, it is a temple stroker. It soothes the temple. You can just, I mean, very often, let me think now, 3 or 4 times I've heard this. Twice of those times were, as I want to do, headphones on as I go to bed, and I think I was gone in by the end of the second track, if that. Just takes me away and soothes me and calms me. I'm told I shouldn't be any calmer because I'll be almost comatose, but nonetheless, it's hard. It's a weird thing to call black metalish music lovely, but lovely it is. Yeah. Anyway, clicky bollocks. Catch you all next time. Cheerio.